thanks for taking the time to speak with Real Film News. My first question to you is, when you discovered that you would be working on the FREEMAKER Adventures, was there any initial hesitation on your part to jump into the Star Wars arena, even, with that Lego project?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say it was, well, I was really excited to jump in, but at the same time, it's Star Wars is a big property with a lot of history to the music, and so yeah, I was definitely nervous getting started with the project. I just wanted to make sure I did justice to the incredible work that John Williams had done before me.
Great, great. And starting to add to that, and starting your work on that project, was the plan always to reconfigure the classic themes, or was that a decision that kind of evolved as you were working on it?
Yeah, the strategy for how we approached the score definitely evolved a little bit, but what we finally arrived at was whenever there was characters, we call them legacy characters, from the original franchise, we would absolutely use John Williams themes to score those characters. But we knew that we needed to make the score its own thing as well, and so that was really exciting for me as a composer because I got to write my own Star Wars themes for these new Star Wars characters. And so, I did my homework and tried to deconstruct John's themes and figure out what made them tick, and then made them my own. And did my best to stay true to who I was as my own composer, with my own voice.
Gotcha. And I know that you've had an opportunity to do other mediums as well, such as video games. So, I have to ask, in terms of the process that you use when you're approaching a project, did it change a bit in working on this one, or is it basically the same, or does it start out the same way, in each project, regardless of the medium?
Yeah, animation is a little unique in that it has a longer production time than a lot of other mediums. It just takes a long time to make a piece of animation. The great thing about that is that typically I get a little bit longer to work on. Or I get a little bit longer with the visuals. So oftentimes I'm seeing a very rough version of the animation. They call it blocking, or
Sure.
it's just kind of the rough movements.
Yeah.
But that's really great because I can take a little bit longer to grow these ideas, in my head. And but on the flip side, the challenge of that is, in the early stages of the animation, there's also oftentimes you have to fill in a bit with your imagination.
Sure.
So it's a bit of a double-edged sword, but I love working in animation for sure.
Cool. And on a separate note, the film industry always goes through trends. So aside from like the shared universe model that we're seeing a lot of times with studios and what they're bringing to the big screen, there's undoubtedly another trend that has started to emerge, and that's Lego themed movies. So why do you think this trend has started to develop?
Yeah, that's a great question. Well, contrary to what a lot of cultural commentators say about the up and coming generation having preferring tiny little sound bites and small chunks of stories, I think the shared universe represents this new generation's appetite for larger stories, and I think it's Lego. The Lego universe is no different. also, I mean, there's no denying that Lego, for most kids growing up, Lego has had a big impact on their lives. I know for me, I remember stealing my dad's video camera and making stop motion animation with my Legos.
Okay.
So Legos has always been a big part of my life growing up, and so it's a thrill to now work with them as an adult.
Awesome. Well, Michael, thank you so much for your time. I look forward to whatever project is that you will be working on next. And congratulations again with the FREEMAKER Adventures and the nominations that have come with that.
Yeah, thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate your time.